Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. We are live. I think we are live. Yes, we are live right now. I will wait as usual a couple of minutes to see who is showing up today. I hope, yes, you can see me right. You can probably hear me right. Maybe we will have a guest after, which is basically my dog. Maybe she will show up, maybe not. Who is here today with me? So let me see who is joining. I can see a picture, but I can't see the name. So pop your name in the comment below and let me know from where you're watching and how you're feeling today. How do you feel? How do you feel? If it's you're feeling fine, how is your Friday? Hey, Julia, so nice to see you. Ooh. Great. Perfect. So we have Julia and probably soon my mom, if she didn't forget about it. So again, yes, in your period. Perfect, Julia. That's the night. That's you're on top. Perfect. On topic. Not on top. On topic. Yes, period. So today we're going to talk about not only the period, but actually also the 4 phases of the month that we go through as women, not only on a physical point of view, but energetical point of view, and how we can work with the phase. So respect that type of energy and not feeling cranky or guilty because we don't have energy. Work instead with that so that we can live in harmony and we can respect and celebrate the body as a woman and not feeling ashamed or that we're not productive enough. So let's wait a couple of minutes. Again, prepare your sacred space. What does it mean? Set your room where you normally practice. Take your mat. We're not going to move a lot today, but if you want to feel in your yoga space, take your mat. I also prepare a journal because we're going to journal. We're going to ask ourselves kind of questions to reflect. And I set up a lot of flowers because I feel it's very connected to the topic of today. So again, maybe we will have a guest, as I said, our dog. She's resting right now, but maybe she will show up. We never know. We're going to talk about a girly thing, so maybe she will show up as well. So let's begin. And for beginning, I say I take place. So for the person that are joining in right now, you can pop up a message in the chat, in the comment, the comment below. Tell me from where you're watching, and as Julia said, maybe you are in your period or maybe not, and in which phase of your period you are in this moment. For example, I am in my luteal phase. Which one do you have? Follicular phase, ovulation, luteal phase, or period? So we can start to talk about it freely without being ashamed of sharing which part of the month we are in. There's still a lot of shame and taboo around the topic of bleeding and having a period. So let's talk about directly. So I am in my luteal phase. So when you're ready, prepare your sacred space so that we can begin. So welcome again into my sacred space. My name is Andrea and I am the founder of Corpo Giardino Yoga Practices, a Swiss-based yoga company who offers not only classes in person but also an educational yoga online platform where I support women. They are mainly overachiever and highly sensitive at the same time, to bring balance back in their life with the tools of yoga as mainly thing, but also as other supportive tool, for example, art. Because I find that art combined with specific yoga tools can even connect with a personal space even deeper. So we have these two tools incorporated in our yoga practices to support you to create more balance in your life. So less stress and burnout, more balance, more wisdom, and to work with nature, as we're going to see today and the topic of today. So the title of this Facebook Live is Yoga During Menstruation. And I'm going to share with you yoga practices that you can do during your menstruation that works, first of all, for me. There are soothing yoga practices, so resting and relaxing practices. This is what works for me and with the women that I work with. But I know that other women, they have more energy during the period and they still want to do their active practices. They want to still keep an active life, and that's okay. And that's the beauty of being unique in our own body and celebrate our diversity and variety. So, as I said, yes, I'm going to share with you a couple of practices that we can do when we menstruate. But first of all, I want to talk about the cycle of a woman and the 4 different phases and what happens. Of course, on a physiological level, we know, hopefully, as women, what happens in the 4 phases. But also, we have different energetic qualities that kind of are a mirror of the seasons. And I came across this work a couple of years ago, reading a book which is Do Less from Kate Northrup, and I will share with you the link, and so that you can maybe dig around and find out more, where she uses basically these 4 phases and the awareness of these 4 phases in her business and how to plan, things to do based in which phase of the month she is, so that she can do less, she can be more productive, do less, and have more time, and without fighting when we have our period, for example, and we are tired and we really can't concentrate, right? So the 4 phases of the period that we have monthly are follicular, the ovulation, luteal phase, and menstruation. Follicular phase is when we produce, of course, follicles, and it's the one exactly after the menstruation. So it's considered like a new beginning, kind of a new spring. And it's a great moment, of course, as you can imagine, to plant new seeds, to begin something new, to begin new collaboration and new project. And the energy begins to rise up again. So this is I would say, a phase. And I call it first because it's the right after the menstruation, but there's no first or fourth. Let's say, because it's a cycle, the beginning is the end and the end is the beginning. But let's call it first. They call it the follicular phase, which is our spring. Then we have the ovulation, when we ovulate basically, and when we have the peak of energy in our month, basically, we feel, at least I feel superwoman in my ovulation. I feel beautiful. I feel ready to go. I can do thousands of things in a day, and normally I do thousands of things in a day. I have a lot of energy. I'm out basically, and it's a great time to be out, to share with the world and with others your achievement, for example, business-wise, your projects, your goals, because the energy is at the peak in the month. Then, after the ovulation, we begin the luteal phase. So when from an energetic point of view, we begin to slow down. And this is the longest phase, from 12 to 14 days in a month. The energy begins to slow down to lower, and it's a great moment to wrap things up, to finish things, to finish projects, and to get things done. And we slowly begin to shift our gaze from the outside world. So the first two phases, they were kind of, yay, look at me, I'm feeling super fine, I have a lot of energy, I can rule the world, and probably we do. And then in the last 2 weeks of the phase of the month, our energy begins to slow down, and we turn our gaze inward, right? As see, now we have a guest. We turn our gaze inward. And turning our face inward, what do we do, Hope? Turning our face inward, we for sure has less energy to go out in the world, and we begin to be more intimate with ourselves. And the culmination of this phase is the menstruation. So the menstruation is the last part of the month when we bleed, and our energy is at its lowest level, and we for sure, at least I don't want to go out, I don't want to go anywhere, and it's the moment where I want to be intimate with myself. That's why what I find interesting is to practice something relaxing and soothing, like yin yoga, restorative yoga, breath and meditation, and some journaling. So this is what we're going to do today. And this is the month that we go through. After the menstruation and after the bleeding part, we begin again with the follicular phase. So we work as women with a 28 days cycle. On the other hand, men, they have a cycle too, but it's a 24 hours cycle. And I'm not surprised that our society is based on a 24 hours plan and strategy to go through the week, right? Because let's be honest, it's a society created by men for men mainly. So there is more and more awareness about women and the feminine part, and the raise up of the feminine. So things are slowly begin to change, but still it takes a while until we can find our voice and our place in a society, respecting our own nature. So the menstruation, as I said, the energetic quality of the menstruation is being very intimate with ourselves. It's the moment where there is a great connection between the right and the left hemisphere of the brain, where insight can happen if we allow that to happen. What do I mean by that? If we don't fight against the fact that we have low energy, if we don't fight against the fact that we have a storm inside our heart, inside our body, if we don't fight against the fact that maybe we need to sleep more and ask for support, maybe to do something that is completely normal in the rest of the month, but during our menstruation, maybe it's too much. If we don't fight against the fact that maybe we need to cancel some appointment or make no appointments at all and take more time for us. If we respect this kind of energy and kind of approach to our menstruation, then we can have a deeper, I would say, experience with ourselves. And I prepare today some questions that we can ask ourselves, and regarding specific practices that I suggest to you, I will share with you in the link and in the comment of this video some yin yoga and restorative yoga practices. They are ready already for you, and you can do it at home, especially right now if you are menstruated. But today for the Facebook Live, I really would love to focus on some reflection that we can ask ourselves during the menstruation phase and when we bleed. So take a piece of paper, take your journal or whatever you're using, your computer maybe, to ask yourself some questions. So the menstruation, as we said, is kind of the end of the cycle, but also at the same time the beginning of something new, of the beginning of a new cycle. We bleed, we let go, to then start again a new month, a new cycle. So it's I would say, the winter of our month. And as in winter happens, we are more intimate. We need to preserve and keep our energy inside so that we can use it in the next cycle. And there are 4 questions that I invite you to ask yourself. But before to do that, let's practice a couple of conscious breaths so that we can connect to our inner space and our inner universe. So close your eyes, relax your shoulders down, drop your chin slightly to your chest. Breathe in and out in your belly to connect the area of the body so powerful inside us. Part of ourselves that can bring new life. We don't even need to think about it a second. For example, when we go through a pregnancy, that a new life is arriving. So let's take a few breaths here to celebrate the beauty and the power of our womb. Nice inhale with your nose. Hold your breath and let it out with your mouth. 2 more. Inhale with your nose. Hold your breath and out with your mouth. Last one. In. Hold. And let it out with your mouth open. When you feel ready, slowly open your eyes, take your journal or a piece of paper and ask yourself, reflecting on the last month, so the last cycle. Go through the last cycle, go through the last month, and ask yourself, what was that was really flowing in my day-to-day life, in my relationships, in my work, in my business, in your emotions, in any aspect of your life. What was that was really flowing like water, and what was easy to do? I give you a couple of minutes to brainstorm around that. If you need, you can use music. So what was easy? What was flowing like water? And what was, in a flow? then ask yourself another question, and don't worry, I will leave this question in the comments. What and where did I feel resistances in my life in the last cycle? What was not really working on a personal level, in the relationships, in your business, in your project, in your life in general? Where did you find resistances that no matter how you tried was not working? So you were fighting against something and found resistances. Again, I give you a couple of minutes. So these, the first two questions are kind of a reflection of the past month and the past cycle and all the phases that you went through. Just have in mind the follicular phase, the ovulation, the luteal phase, and the menstruation. And then the next two questions. So when we become aware of the last month, now we can, and then we can let go of that, and we can focus on the next cycle. Being aware of what was really flowing and working in your life and was not really working in your life, and you found resistances in that. What do you want to let go? And you don't want to keep it in the next cycle. And what, on the other hand, you want to either keep or plant something completely new. Imagine that a new cycle, it's like the new cycle of the month, of the moon. The menstruation energy is like the winter, is like the new moon, where it's completely dark during the night, where there is no light. We are inside ourselves, in a deeper place in ourselves. But we can reflect on the last cycle so that we can plant maybe new seeds for the new one. And it could be something completely extraordinary, metaphysical, and life-changing, or it could be something very simple and practical you want to do in your life. Like, for example, you want to start to meditate 5 minutes in the morning, every morning, or you want to change the way you speak to another person, or I don't know, something that you want to plant and nourish for the next month, or maybe you want to finish a project, or you want to start a new project, so that you can focus then on the 4 different phases and how to use them energetically to support you in beginning this new thing. And then at the end of the next month, at the end of the next cycle, ask yourself again these questions. Reflection in the past, awareness of the present, and with this awareness, what do you want to bring next? What do you want to do next? What do you want to keep and transform? So I give you a couple of minutes more to go through these 2 questions, the last one. So what do you want to let go, and what do you want to either keep or plant new for the next cycle? Let it be intuitive, don't overthink, let it flow out of your pen. We don't need a lot our rational mind in this moment. And don't worry, you can find these questions in the blog that I wrote, or I will leave these questions in the comment. I'm smiling because she's complaining a bit about the fact that I keep talking, right? I hope. And to finish this small practice, let's practice a position of yin yoga. So we did a breath practice at the beginning. Now we reflected on journal, and let's finish with a position of yin yoga. Very simple. If you're feeling cold or you want to be more cozy, feel free to use a blanket. Here is very warm, incredibly warm, so I'm not going to use it. Please feel free to do that. Lay down on your back. Let's begin first with our knees rolled in. So let your knees fall in and your feet going outside in the outer part of the mat. Place your hands on your belly. Relax the shoulders. Breathe in and out with your belly, not only in your belly, but also in the pelvic floor, in your hips. So let the entire pelvis be soft. For the yoga tradition, we have a lot of energies running in our body. And the energy connected to the lower part of the body, the legs, also the menstruation, and the exhalation is called apana. And apana is the energy that makes us feel, yes, grounded, but sometimes also heavy. So it makes sense. Sometimes it's exactly the way we feel when we bleed and menstruate, this heaviness of bringing us down, gravity pulling us down. Just breathe in that part of the body, the pelvis, your legs, your hips, your pelvic floor. Then let's practice the opposite position for your lower back and your hips. It means open up your feet, your legs, the butterfly position, the feet together. But let this butterfly be very open. So maybe bring your feet a bit more forward so that you have more space. And also you basically bring the feet more forward. You allow your lower back to fall in its natural position. But if this is uncomfortable for you, you can bring your feet a bit more closer and neutralize your pelvis. And again, keep breathing this position in your belly, in your pelvic floor, in your hips. And this is another great moment to ask yourself the questions that we did before journaling, reflection about the past, awareness of the present, and what they want to plant and nourish in the next cycle. extend the legs forward for mini shavasana. Relax the arms to the side. Inhale with the nose and let it out. In. Out with your mouth. Last one in. Out. Slowly roll on one side, coming back seated in a comfortable position. Come close to you. Keep your eyes closed. Bow gently your head to your heart. Hands close to your heart. Say thank you to yourself. To celebrate this incredible machine that is our body. And maybe to learn how to work with it instead of against it. To live in harmony with ourselves and in society. And I thank you a lot for being with me, to being live or to watching this replay. This was a very important topic for me because I'm very committed to first work on myself and then with others to bring more awareness around our menstruation and to know more about what happens in the old phases of the month. So I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if you have more questions or feedbacks. I'm always available for you, and I'm asking also you, what do you want to see in this channel, knowing that I support women, overachiever women, high sensitive women. What do you want to see? Where are you struggling right now in your life, and how can I support you? Thank you, Julia. Thank you, Mama. Thank you all the people who were watching me. Thank you all the people watching the replay right now. And I will leave all the information in the comment. See you next Friday and have a super lovely weekend. Bye. Ciao. Also hope is saying bye-bye to you. Bye.